with Sister Nian Chueu. When my sister is being tutored, I also hope everyone will take care of her. Li Nian Kaiyu looked at me in surprise. I never mentioned this on the way here. Lo Hao, I can't just keep taking advantage of you. How are you taking advantage of me? The rent will naturally be deducted from your tutoring fees, I said righteously. I heard Auntie is also resting at home recently. I have a hospital over there. Looking for an office worker to handle express deliveries. Auntie can also work there. In case she doesn't feel well, being in the hospital is also convenient. Liu Shang looked at me with a profound gaze. Her worries were completely dispelled. With me by her daughter's side, I wouldn't be able to do anything too outrageous. Since you've put it this way, it would be a bit ungrateful for me to refuse. You said with a smile. Then Auntie, and you should pack up first. Tomorrow, I'll arrange for someone to come and help you move. I still have things to do, so I won't disturb you any longer. Seeing me go out, Lin Yan Q finally came back to her senses. I'll walk you out. The three of us walked through the small alley. Li Nian Chu occasionally glanced at me. She said resentfully, "Why didn't you tell me that you wanted us to move to Jiangcheng High School?" I rolled my eyes. If I had told you, would you have let me see Auntie? Nothing was said for the rest of the way. We quickly reached the end of the alley. The silhouette of the Bentley came into view. Li Nian Chio mustered up her courage. She suddenly took a step forward and hugged me tightly. She buried her head in my chest and whispered, "Thank you." I wrapped my arms tightly around Li Nian Chiu. "Senior, my heart hurts so much right now. What's wrong? Did I use too much force?" Li Nian Chio immediately wanted to pull away from my embrace. "I just thought about how I bought so many beautiful clothes for you, only for Liu Ruyan to benefit from them. My heart hurts again." Li Nian Qiu's face turned red. She stood on her tiptoes and whispered in my ear, "Then, when we have time, I'll wear them just for you." On the way to the hospital, I recalled the previous hug. The soft feeling from my chest, the corner of my mouth was harder to suppress than an AK. Next, I just need to maintain my relationship with Li Nian Qiu, then cure her mother's illness. After she graduates, I'll directly pull her into the Liu group. I glanced at Liu Ruyan. This little girl definitely doesn't know that I've already cut off her right-hand man. Noticing my gaze, Liu Ruyan glared back. For some reason, seeing my dumbfounded expression now made her a little angry. Half an hour later, the two of them finally arrived at the gate of the Jiangcheng City Traditional Chinese Medicine Hospital. The Jiangcheng Traditional Chinese Medicine Hospital consists of a main area and the Huatuo Hall. The main area serves the general public. Everyone can come here for treatment. Although Huatuo Hall is also open to the public, the registration fee alone is at least 100,000. Ordinary people simply can't afford it. After getting out of the car, I directly pulled Liu Ruyan's hand and led her to Huatuo Hall. I wanted to remind Liu Xiaoxuan a little. When performing acupuncture on the patient, be sure to check if the patient's internal organs are damaged. Liu Xiaoxuan's skills were undeniable. It's just that this patient's condition was complicated. There was a foreign object in his body, which led to a deviation in her acupuncture. Just as Liu Ruyan and I were walking towards Huatuo Hall, two medical staff members next to us ran past, carrying a stretcher. On the stretcher was an elderly man wearing a gray Sun Yat-sen suit. "Make way, make way. The patient is in critical condition. It's an emergency. Please make way." Looking at the unconscious man on the stretcher, I knew this was the big shot from Haicheng. The man's name was Xie Zhan. He is one of the founding heroes of the Daxia nation. He had made glorious achievements for the establishment of the Daxia nation. Although he had retired from the front lines, his influence in the military was still immense. I took Liu Ruyan's hand and sped up towards Huatuo Hall. The medical staff carried the stretcher into Huatuo Hall. A sturdy middle-aged man shouted loudly into the hall, "Hurry up and call your best doctor out here." The middle-aged man's name was Xie Hu. He was Xie Zhan's son. He also currently held a position in the military. In the corridors on both sides, old Chinese medicine doctors yawned and came out of the consultation rooms. Among the old Chinese medicine doctors, a young woman wearing rimless glasses and a white coat stood out. "This person is my third sister, Liu Xiaoxuan. Who was your best doctor?" "My father is unconscious now. Hurry up and treat my father." The old Chinese medicine doctors looked at each other. They only needed to look at Xie Zhan's and Xie Hu's attire to guess that their backgrounds were not small. "Xiaoxuan, take a look at this patient first and see if you can treat him," an old Chinese medicine doctor said. Liu Xiaoxuan nodded. "Carry him to the bed over here. Such a young girl, can she even understand? The old man's illness has relapsed many times. We've seen many doctors and none of them had a solution," Si Hu said with a frown. Liu Xiaoxuan hated it the most when people used gender and age to judge. She glared at Xie Hu and said coldly, "I am taking the patient's pulse now. please be quiet. After taking the pulse, she said to Xiu with a cold face, with a few needles for this illness, the old man can wake up. But to completely cure him, he will need a few more visits. The other old Chinese medicine doctors also came forward and took the patient's pulse. They nodded at Liu Xiaoxuan. The results they inferred were the same as Liu Xiaoxuan's. I am sorry, little girl, I underestimated you just now. Please perform acupuncture on the old man. Xiu apologized. Just as Liu Xiaoxuan was sterilizing the silver needles, a middle-aged woman ran over. Elder brother, where's our father? How is he now? The woman's name was Xiu Xing. She was Xi Zhan's daughter. She was also a top jewelry merchant in Jiangcheng. Dad is unconscious. The situation is very dangerous. The doctor is about to perform acupuncture on him now. Xiu pointed at the person sterilizing the silver needles, Liu Xiaoxuan, and said, seeing such a young doctor, Xiu Xing couldn't help but frown. Is such a young girl trustworthy? She immediately stepped aside, making way for a young man behind her. Elder brother, I just came from Jiangcheng City, no. One People's Hospital. I met this young man. I saw him use only 3 needles to cure a patient that the hospital had been treating for years, with no progress. Hearing that Dad's illness had relapsed, I hurriedly invited him over. Since Dad hasn't had acupuncture yet, why don't we let this young man handle it? The young man had sharp eyebrows and bright eyes. He cupped his hands towards Xiu and said, hello sir, my name is Long Aotian. MS. Yu Xing was too kind just now. The patient's body, under the doctor's care, had already recovered by more than half. I merely activated the medicinal properties accumulated in the patient's body. Even without me, the patient would have recovered sooner or later. Xiu nodded, very satisfied with Long Aotian's modest demeanor. His gaze shifted hesitantly towards Liu Xiaoxuan. But before he could speak, a group of old Chinese medicine doctors stood up and criticized in unison. What do you mean by this? Bringing a little brat here to cause trouble? We've all said we can cure him. If you change doctors now, are you doubting our traditional Chinese medicine hospital? Brat, who's your master? And how many years have you studied medicine? I see you haven't even grown all your hair yet. What the hell do you know about Chinese medicine? Liu Xiaoxuan's face also turned cold. If you don't believe me, then, so be it. You can borrow this consultation room, but I won't be treating him. Seeing Liu Xiaoxuan's cold face, Long Aotian's eyes immediately lit up. Liu Xiaoxuan looked like a young woman full of vitality. Noticing Long Aotian's gaze, Liu Xiaoxuan glared at him in disgust. She pulled her white coat tighter around herself. Make a decision quickly. The patient's condition cannot be delayed, she said coldly. Xiu looked at Liu Xiaoxuan, then at Long Aotian. For a moment, he didn't know which to choose. Just let them treat him first.